Hello guys, Musselwhite here, also known as Crystallize Entertainment, and welcome to this very unique video I have in store. Before we actually get onto the main events, I do want to give you a bit of context on this video because it's a bit out of the blue, out of the ordinary, because I have not talked about this project whatsoever up to this point. It was very much a secret project. But before we start, however, there's a few things you might have noticed that I do want to apologise for. One of the things I'm not going to apologise for, but something that's worth noting, is that you might be noticing I have Christmas decorations everywhere. In case you're wondering when this is being filmed, this specific portion is being filmed the 7th of January 2021. So literally all the decorations are going to come down after this video is going to be done, but I just wanted to try and fit this in before I get too caught up back on my animation projects. And also, you might notice that the audio/video quality is not the best. That's because I don't actually have a camera right now. I'm not using a proper-ish camera. Instead of using a mobile camera. So, my iPhone camera, which is not bad, but it's not exactly highest quality, as well as the mic quality not being that good. So, I want to apologise for that. And hopefully next time I'll find my SD card so I can actually use a proper camera. But without further ado, let's give you a bit of context. Now, Elementary is a Portal 2 mod that I came up with around June 2014 as a sort of a soft reboot of a mod I tried two to 3 years prior, I think, when I first became a modder, called Hazard Industries. Now, Hazard Industries had this plague of problems. There was a clash of art styles with that one. Things didn't make sense, it was just poorly made, and overall it was just a bad time for all parties involved. I cancelled that project in 2012 when I joined the Hand to Face team, which died out shortly thereafter. I'm the bad luck charm in that regard. Now, Elementary was also meant to be set originally in Hazard Industries, where the actual location of Hazard Industries were. But quickly, I think as the project was progressing, I changed over to a new place called Omega Technologies, which was more better suited for the style I wanted, which was like a kind of clean sort of aesthetic, but with nice warm colours, not really any cold ones, so like sort of a bit different, but to the aesthetic of Portal 2, but not completely the same. This mod had reskins of the cubes, the dispensers, the doors. I mean, a lot of work went into this, and I ended up doing about 6 chambers before I ended up shelving. It was like a very Valve development cycle. If you know Valve software, then you know that they work on projects. Most of them don't see the light of day, and it was very much the case with Elementary. And of course, no one was the wiser because I haven't actually shown this mod up to then. The mod itself featured a few new mechanics, which I really am quite happy with, like the morality grid, the morality field, beg your pardon, and the fire cube, as well as the return of the Portal 1 classic, the high energy pellet. Now, this was actually made before I discovered what scripts were. Ultimately, I think my scripts back then was very poor, to say the least. Also, it was before I discovered what a game design document was, which if I ever picked up this project again, I would definitely use that utility. But it just ultimately, because the lack of pre-production planning meant that after 2 months, when my animation stuff started to pick up again in August to September time, Elementary got shelved indefinitely, and that was like, again, around 6 years ago now. I haven't modded since. The type of mods I've done since then are not really mods, maybe a few maps here and there, and ultimately a few assets for Source Filmmaker, but nothing that I would designate as a mod. Like Elementary was, Reality's Source was, which was a very interesting prototype in itself that didn't really last that long. And of course, the original Hazard Industries that got me into modding to begin with. Now, I want to before we actually start as well, I want to give a few credits to a few add-ons that I used in this mod that was going to give credit to when I was going to release it in the actual credit portion, but I didn't actually ask for permission for two of these three. Now, the AC Portals as Hands add-on that I used, that you will see, was created by Dr. Tesmatic, and The clean portal gun that was also used to fit into my little clean, warm aesthetic was done by Dog Fart Man. I don't know how you pronounce that, but these were both from Game Banana, and of course the textures, the portable textures was actually part of the original Hand to Face project, and I asked permission for it, and Tile did give me permission to use it. I only say Tile because I actually have tried to look up his name again for this video, but I can't seem to find him now, so it leads me to believe at some point in the intervening 6.5 years, he has deleted his ModDB account. It's a shame, but you know, it happens. Yeah, I think that's about everything. I would like to pick up this project again at some point. I do have some recent ideas of redesigns of certain levels because I don't think they actually worked out as well as I thought they would. But I hope you enjoyed this rough around the edges. Alpha says beta. You'll notice there's a few things that are not quite right, like one area of Chamber 6 is not as portable as it should be, which is a bit of an issue, but you can get around that by just portaling way ahead of time, which kind of ruins the surprise I wanted. The fact that some of the main AI's voices are a lot deeper than it should be. I don't know what caused that tone shift, but compared to the other voices, but that is a thing you'll notice. And also you'll notice that actually that was actually a female voice. That was actually a placeholder for an actual voice, but one of the lines I've noticed is missing. I don't think it's actually in the project file, so I'm not entirely sure where that's gone because it's actually nowhere to be seen. So that's an interesting development. Anyway, I'm just rambling now, so thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoy it, enjoy the main show, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.
Here at Omega Technologies, we pride ourselves with creating the latest innovations while keeping our employees safe. Thank you, and we hope you have an enjoyable testing experience.
Hello, and I will be the observer during this activity. You can call me Pete. Please note the particle field across the edge. We'd call this the Omega Technologies filtering field, and it stops unauthorized equipment passing through it. For instance, a standard cube. Please place the cube on the Omega Technologies 15-watt Super Epic Super button. Well done. You have proved the color blue is not just a fashion sense.
In very rare cases, the Omega Technologies filtering field will emancipate vital organs, which will cause you to experience lightheadedness, heavy-headedness, internal bleeding, and eventually death.
If you are experiencing any of the symptoms described previously, then lay down in a T-shape. A highly trained vital organ technician will be dispatched to install new organs that is missing. Now you have possession of the Omega Technologies quantum tunneling device. We now can test with more complex elements. This is Omega Technologies high-energy pellet. This device is created from pure photon energy. Because of this, we urge you to resist touching this device, as they can cause permanent disabilities such as death. Excellent work. Once again, you have proved competent enough around dangerous testing apparatus. Deploying the Omega Technologies fire cube in 3, 2, 1. This particular variant of the cube can set yours on fire if it is in proximity of the fire cube. Good luck.
This is not good. It burns. Ow.
The 4 different ways that you can kill a sentry turret is as follows.
Laser.
Fire cube, diversity vent, and heights. While not all of these methods are applicable to this test, it is a good idea to remember these in future testing. Please note the field at the right-hand side of the chamber. This Omega Technologies morality grid will allow any sentient object to activate the device, such as beams, sentries, and companion cubes. Outstanding. Your sentience has been validated to the power of 2. You are doing extremely well. Please be advised that any contact with the tool will result in cell decay, essentially killing you.
Sorry.
Well done. Even in the face of certain danger, you can still take a bullet to the knee.